I don't know if you know this or not, but thinking about doing something and actually doing something are two separate things entirely. My name is Muhammad, and I'm somebody who talks about self development mixed in with spirituality, and I like offering people advice that makes their lives better. Every so often, I will point you back into your own consciousness, into your own heart, because I really feel like that's what everybody's looking for. But today, we're going to tackle the specific problem of overthinking. And this is something I've actually suffered with a lot myself. I would overthink signing up for races. I'd overthink dieting and losing weight. I'd overthink building a new relationship or friendship. And here's how the process would go. I would think to myself, wow, I really want to do that thing. But then my mind would come up with a million different objections of why I shouldn't do the thing. And some time would pass by. And then I'd realize that I'm just left in the same exact scenario I was when I started, never really having the experience. Now, here's the thing that can save you sometimes. For example, if you're going to do something very dangerous and then your mind creates a bunch of objections and it's basically stops you from doing something incredibly stupid. However, let's take a simple example of signing up for a triathlon, which is something I just recently have done. When I first thought about it, I was scrolling on Instagram and I was sitting down and I thought to myself, I want to do a triathlon. And then the objections started coming inside of my head. Get it? Okay. So they started coming, and it was like, well, what if I get injured? I haven't really trained enough. I don't know, man. Like, I have so much going on right now, work so busy, and just objection after objection. But this time I caught it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyways, and I'll see what happens. Maybe I won't be able to finish it, but at least I'm going to sign up and go to the start line, and I will just simply see what happens. And obviously, I trained for 2 months before I even, I'm pretty active person, so I felt like confident enough to go. I don't think you should injure yourself. I'm just using this as a specific example. I want you to think of this little like imagery that I put to this specific example. Imagine you're standing at the top of a hill and you're holding a soccer ball, and you just set the soccer ball down right at the top of the hill, and then you just flick it. That's all you do. You just kind of flick it. And then you see the ball start to roll. And at first, it's very slow. And then all of a sudden, it goes really fast. And then it just goes all the way down the hill. But all that really took was that little flick is the decision to sign up for a triathlon. That little flick is the moment where you decide to call a friend and ask them if they want to hang out or just have a conversation. That little flick is setting a goal or telling your boss you want to put in your 2 weeks. Now, what's beautiful about these little moments is when you decide those things, you change the whole rhythm of your life. You step into the role. When I signed up for my triathlon, dude, I'm not going to make record time. I know that, right? But what ended up happening was I ended up dieting for 2 months. I came down 8 pounds because I knew it would help me. I ended up training harder than I've ever trained before. I made it to the start line and I made it to the finish line. I did a damn triathlon. That's literally 1 mile swim, a 25-mile bike ride, and a 6 mile run. This guy. And for me, like, dude, I'm that person who in high school was trying to skip all the hard things in gym class. For example, we had to run a mile one day, and you would just catch me like running across the field while the coach had his back turned towards me because I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to make it around. I just want to get out of this, avoid anything uncomfortable. And to me, over my life, what I've been really realizing is these objections that come up in your head when you want to make positive change, learn to ignore them. Stop setting limitations on yourself. Now, I'm not telling you that every single thing you have to run and do because there's limited time, energy, and money and resources, right? We'll just say there's limited resources. But more often than not, with people that I talk to, what I can see, including myself, is we heavily limit ourselves. We get stuck with the same routine, living out the same cyclical patterns, thinking, man, am I doing more than I can, right? Am I doing enough? Am I pushing myself? And it's pretty tricky too, because I'm somebody who likes to explore both polarities, right? On one end, you don't want to push yourself to the point to where you're not really enjoying the thing. But on the other end, you never really not want to push yourself, because if you don't push yourself, then you're never really going to see what you're capable of, right? I really believe that God put this drive in us, and we have so much potential and life energy and force, and we can use it to do great things. You can use it to meditate and explore your own consciousness. You can use it to build something fascinating. You can use it to chase down a goal. You can use it however you'd like, right? You can help people. And I sincerely believe, just by doing something that you want to do that is positive, I think that inherently helps people, because people start to see what's possible through you. I know I'm ranting. I didn't plan this podcast, but I just have been thinking about these things lately, and I felt like sharing it. And this was the moment, right? I was like sitting on my couch watching TV, and I was like, man, I really did want to post at least one video per week. And here I am. I just like pushed that ball down the hill. I don't know if you found this valuable. And if you did, say what's up in the comments. And yeah, I hope this is a little bit of a kickstart that you needed, because this is something I've been thinking about. And it's honestly good to remind myself, because I also need it, because I'm also human. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.